Good morning, everyone. I am Los Angeles City Councilmember Mitch O'Farrell. We are in the 13th District here at the Echo Park Lake, where we have had a very successful housing operation that began in January. Since that time, including yesterday evening and this morning, we have housed 161 individuals who've been experiencing homelessness at Echo Park Lake. And I've just heard that 5 additional are in transit to the Project Room Key Hotel. So this is a phenomenal situation that's developing. And right now, we have the best professional outreach workers, Urban Alchemy, out there fanning the park to make sure that the last few remaining people experiencing homelessness will accept the services that we're offering, and we can get them into safe shelter as well. And the safe shelter includes 3 healthy meals a day. It includes medical service if needed. It includes supportive services and access to all sorts of services that might also include addiction issues, mental health services and support, casework that could lead people to job security, to a better way of life and a path to wellness. Since the pandemic began, and even before that, knowing the conditions at Echo Park Lake and the realities and the situation there, my team and I set out to make sure that even though the park needed repairs back then, that in order to do this, my non-negotiable was that we would find housing solutions for everyone at the lake, no matter how they got there. And there are all sorts of stories about how people arrived, but the reality is people who experience homelessness also experience significant trauma in their lives. And Urban Alchemy, which is the outreach group that my office contracted with back in December, has been doing regular outreach. They've been getting to know and understand all of the circumstances and situation that every person experiencing homelessness has been suffering from. They've approached this very compassionately, with great knowledge of all the individual people and their personal experiences. And Urban Alchemy is an incredible group that is made up of individuals that have real lived experiences themselves. And I am so proud to introduce Dr. Lena Miller of Urban Alchemy, who can talk about her experiences and what they have successfully completed up to this time. And then we know that it's going to be a successful operation until we have every last person indoors. So Dr. Lena Miller, would you please step forward?
Thank you, Councilman, and thank you, everybody. It's been a wonderful experience. Really, we had one goal, and that was to make sure that everybody in this park who wanted housing was housed. And to get 166 as of today into shelter, most of it Project Room Key. So that's individual rooms with toilets and microwaves and mini fridges in the room, and to be safe, and then also to provide intermediate solutions. I think this is a model for how this work is to be done, to make sure that not one person is left behind. So what our team did was go around and get to know every single person in the park and to figure out what their needs were so that they were matched up correctly with the right type of housing. And for 166 people, when we first came down here, I think there was about 100 people. As we know, a lot of people are drawn to Echo Park because they understood that there was housing opportunity. So that's how the number kept rising. But as the number kept rising, we were able to keep finding placements. And all of that has to do with Councilman O'Farrell and his team's commitment to making sure that every single person in this park had a place to go that is safe, both short-term and intermediate term, and then moving into long term. And I think it's really a model for the city of Los Angeles. How do we begin to move these encampments in a humane way, in a compassionate way, in a way that really gets people the support and the help that they need. I think one thing people don't quite understand is it's hard to live on the streets. We know this in the most basic fundamental way, but it's also very dangerous. There is a lot of trauma that goes on for people living outdoors. And what we're trying to do is not only to bring people in better living conditions and sanitary conditions, but also that we start eliminating some of the trauma and the violence and the hurt and the pain that goes on with people who are living on the street. So this is the beginning. I know some people aren't, everybody is not particularly happy about the park closing. There's a lot of people who have some feelings of opposition, but every single person in this park, every single last one who wanted to go, is in a hotel room. It's the right, if we're gonna start moving this issue in Los Angeles, if we're gonna start getting people into shelter, into housing, this is the right way to do it. So I just wanna commend Councilman O'Farrell, your staff, for doing it the right way. And for allowing us to make sure that we got every single last person into hotel rooms and to safety. Thank you.
Thank you. And Dr. Miller and Urban Alchemy, we can't thank you enough. And let me just briefly go over the work at the park. Now, I heard on KNX radio this morning myself that there was talk of the park closing indefinitely. Couldn't be further from the truth. There are significant repairs that need to be done, at least $500,000 worth. Lots of issues with vandalism and degrading sort of infrastructure at the park. And so that's going to be repaired over the next 3 or 4 weeks or 5 weeks. We'll get an accurate read on that from Rec and Parks once they get in there and begin making the repairs. But the park will reopen safely and securely in all of its splendor. It is one of the crown jewels of the park system in the city of Los Angeles. And everyone, housed or unhoused, will be able to come back and enjoy the park during park hours. It will be safe and secure every day and every night. And that is the reason for the fencing, in order to really do a comprehensive assessment and make the repairs. That's why the fencing needed to go up, so that the workers, the maintenance workers and the repair workers, could do their job without any sort of interruption or interference, in a very safe way. And lastly, the housing solutions are continuing. We are stepping up other housing solutions right here in Echo Park that will enable us to house well over 100 additional individuals in the coming weeks and months. And we're not stopping there, because this is the issue of the day. And I'm so glad to have partners like Urban Alchemy at our side to help move this forward, these solutions forward. And that's all I have to say. And we're happy to take 3 questions. So the question is refusal. Dr. Miller, would you like to add anything about the refusal issue? Because we're very optimistic that everyone so far will accept the assistance. And that's really our mission. Because of these professionals, we feel that we'll be able to really compel everyone to accept the help they need. Our aim has been, and so far we have been very successful at making sure that everyone who has been living here consistently for weeks and or months will be brought indoors in a safe environment. So the notices were posted as per the requirement from the city attorney's recommendations. And so the operation was very safe and successful. And I think with that, one last question right here. It's a 24-hour posting, so we're in there. I'm going to let them go so they can go in there and keep doing their work, because it's very successful. And so I really appreciate everyone's time for covering this important issue. Homelessness is the issue of the day, and this is an example of how we can really bring people safely indoors. Thank you.
There are other issues that are going on too. There's been people who are fearful to leave, but I think the main thing is if people are living unsheltered and they want to be sheltered, they want to go indoors, they want housing. Now they have housing. And so many of them are saying, or almost everybody is saying, I want housing. Now, there are other people there who weren't there before that are part of the protest. But in terms of the original people who have been living in the park, there were 20 that are remaining. The other original 80 plus about another 40 all have said, and many people, word has gotten out, if you go to Echo Park, you get shelter. Even before the last few days, a lot of people were coming to Echo Park because they heard that this is a way, it's a pathway to shelter. So really what this shows is that people want shelter. They want to go inside. They want to be at adequate housing, and they are. They're in 4-star hotels with a bathroom and microwave and, you know, yes.
I can answer that.
Yep.
Yeah. We have taken all sorts of considerations, including personal belongings that we will store safely under lock and key, that will be retrievable to anyone who has their belongings safely stored. We're also offering the option of discarding things and assisting with that process as well per individual. And we've been doing that for weeks now. And so we've taken really great consideration on all these issues. And now en español, preguntas en español? Oh, una pregunta en español, and my Spanish speaker just left. Okay. Also, we have involuntary storage. I'm sorry. We set up voluntary storage at Echo Park Lake last year, so that is still in operation as well. The voluntary storage. Yeah, I think we covered that, and now preguntas en español.
Sí, una pregunta. Sí, la pregunta es cómo vamos a evitar que las personas regresen al parque. Primeramente, el parque es para todos, como nosotros sabemos. El concejal ha tomado varios pasos para dar recursos para un hogar, comida, lo que sea, la vacuna del COVID-19. Vamos a seguir dando esos servicios de todo tiempo. So, nada diferente va a pasar acá que en cualquier otro parque en la ciudad. ¿Otra pregunta? Sí, por ahorita estamos acá dando recursos para 166 personas que han aceptado un hogar y la promesa de servicios. Esta situación ha estado difícil por varios meses. El concejal desde el año pasado ha estado trabajando con varias organizaciones y en este instante con Urban Alchemy para dar recursos que son necesarios y necesitados acá. La comunicación entre la oficina y las personas de Urban Alchemy ha sido muy importante para que nosotros recibamos la información de la gente que está adentro, para que le demos la ayuda que necesitan. En unos casos no solamente es un hotel o un lugar donde dormir, como dije antes, la vacuna del COVID-19, comida, acceso a servicios medicales, todo eso el concejal ha estado dando durante todos estos meses y vamos a seguir ahora y en los meses que siguen. Es la esperanza de la oficina que todas las personas en Echo Park Lake acepten servicios. Y durante todo este día, nuestros compañeros en Urban Alchemy van a estar comunicándose con la gente adentro. Vamos a hacer cada esfuerzo para dar cada servicio necesario, incluyendo un lugar a dormir, una locación para las cosas personales. Y si es la situación que una persona necesita asistencia adicional, más comunicación, para eso estamos acá. No le voy a decir qué es lo que va a pasar con esa gente, o sea, nosotros vamos a hacer todo lo posible para que ellos reciban el servicio que le estamos dando. Pero una cosa sí le voy a decir, acá no vamos a arrestar a nadie, acá vamos a estar dando servicios. Esa es la meta de este programa y esperamos dar todo el servicio posible ahora y en los días que sigan.
Y David, ¿incluye información sobre Salaf y familias en Solutions en español?
El concejal quiere también comunicar a todos que él ha trabajado con varias organizaciones. Una organización en particular se llama SALEF, la Organización Salvadoreña Americana para el Liderazgo de la Gente Salvadoreña. Esa organización ha estado acá en varios instantes para dar información, para ayudar a inmigrantes que quizás estén acá, personas indocumentadas, y nosotros sabemos que esa gente también está acá. La situación acá es bien compleja. El concejal ha tomado cada avenida para dar servicios, para dar ayuda, para entender que estas personas necesitan la ayuda de la ciudad en una manera, directa ahora. Bueno, primeramente, esta situación, como he dicho, es complicada. La verdad es que esta situación, como es complicada, se necesita varios aspectos para que llegamos al día triunfante. La policía solamente está acá para dar protección, para ver que la situación no se haga más peligrosa. La verdad es que con una situación tan compleja, uno nunca sabe lo que puede pasar, pero el concejal se ha enfocado en dar servicios. Por eso es que Urban Alchemy ha estado acá días antes, meses antes, y van a seguir estando acá como los primeros que se van a comunicar con las personas. La policía no está acá para meterse en eso. Ellos están acá solamente si es necesario. Pero la meta acá es que todos reciban un hogar, que tengan un lugar donde dormir, que tengan comida, que tengan la vacuna del COVID-19 y todos los servicios que la ciudad trae. Muchas gracias.
Thank you. David,
Mi nombre es David Girón y soy el asesor principal para el concejal Mitch O'Farrell. Un placer.
Gracias. Thank you. Good job.